Lumineers, and welcome to I Fought the Law's dedicated Lorcana Twitch stream. So, as you know, I've been looking the last couple of times at decks that we've sort of played in Archazia's Island and what to look for in Reign of Jafar going forwards. Today, I want to talk about a deck that maybe wasn't so big in Archazia's Island, but more so in Azurite Sea before that, which was it's Amber Steel aggro. Now, as we know, in Azurite Sea, people were playing Diggy Diggy Hole a lot, and I think that's a deck with some of the new cards that's really, as you've seen if you've been playing, it's really coming back strong at the moment. So, without further ado, let's take a look. This was a Diggy Diggy Hole deck, pretty standard to be honest. There wasn't much change in any of these decks. It was all very, very standard. You've got your Cinderellas and your Daisies and your Happies for turn one. Happy, of course, being a 7 Dwarf, to combine with the 7 Dwarf Mine. And your Cinderella to sing your Storm Rage Ons, your Strength for Raging Fires, to control the board while you load up with all these low-cost big lore questers like Lilo, your Piglet, Mr. Smee, Lawrence, Rapunzel, of course, to heal your Lawrence, to heal your Smee, to heal your Daisy, and Pluto is another one that was really big in that deck as well. Very, very strong deck. Took a lot of people by surprise. Aggro always has these, there's usually some limitations to it, but of course with the addition of the singing, it just became an incredibly strong deck. So looking forward to Reign of Jafar, and in fact not forward really so much anymore. We're into the season now. The cards that should have an impact and have had an impact in this type of deck are as follows. So we've got the 1-drop Rhino. On its own, still a reasonable card. Inkable 1 cost, 1/2. When you play this character, chosen opposing character gets -1 strength at the start of until the start of your next turn. On its own, it's okay on its own. It's not an overwhelming card, but the reason we play this Rhino is, of course, for the 4 cost shift 2. Shift 2, 4/3, inkable. While this character has no damage, he gains resist +2 and quest for 2, of course. That also means from turn 2 you can be singing your songs with Rhino. The resist 2 is huge. That means 5 damage in one go to take this guy out. So yeah, really big card, and it's having a massive impact in multiple sort of formats in a lot of Steel Song and definitely in the Amber Steel. I think this card is going to be a staple for quite some time to come, if I'm honest. And yeah, I mean, really good card, really strong card, and the 1 cost isn't necessarily a bad card. So having the 2 in there together is not a bad shout at all. The other big impact, of course, is the 3 cost inkable Lady, the 2/2, quest for 2, and when you play this character, you may play a character with 2 cost or less for free. So with that, you're looking at dropping your Smees, your Lilos, potentially your Penny, which is really good with the Smee. And obviously, the other option is your dock to draw new cards if your hand's empty, or if you're down to something you don't really want in hand. So Lady, I think we're seeing this card. Those 2 cards are definitely 4 ofs. The 1 cost, the 4 cost Rhino, and the Lady are 4 ofs in all of these decks at the moment, and yeah, both incredibly strong cards. The card we might see a bit less often, I used it a few times myself when I was testing this deck, is the 3 cost Vinny. Now, he's a 1/4, not inkable, quest for 1, but you don't really quest him. The big advantage of Vinny is during an opponent's turn, whenever one of your other characters is banished, gain 1 lore. So with this deck, you're loading up the board. So once you've loaded the board up, you drop a Vinny out there, and as soon as they're killing your characters, you're gaining a lore when they die. This can be a good passive way to gain lore with this deck. It's something, as I say, it's something I tested and have now kind of taken out of the deck a little bit myself. But it was really valuable at the time. But he's another really good new card that could be utilised in an aggro situation like this. The cards that will have a bit less impact, I think, that have also been released this set. There's the 3-cost Inkable Bolt, who's a 0/4 who quests for 4, but he does enter play exerted. And that's okay if you control the board with your Rhino, with your Cinderella, to make sure there's nothing that can challenge him. It's great, you're going to get 4 lore out of him pretty quickly. Excuse me. But yeah, the fact that he enters the field exerted, he's vulnerable to a Madame Mim or anything that's already in play. So, no, good character, but I haven't seen as much of him, and I don't expect to. Another one is Darling Deer. 5-cost Inkable for 4. And when you play this character, chosen character gets +2 lore this turn. Now, this is a little expensive for an aggro deck at 5 cost. But I have seen it used, and you can drop it down at the field once you hit that 5 ink, and you can have your Piglet questing for 5 on that turn, for example, or your Smee questing for 4. And it's a good strong body afterwards to maybe remove something of theirs, to sing a song, or just to keep questing and take a while to kill. And another card that was released this set that is possible in these decks is the 2-cost Jim Deer. Now it's an Inkable 0/4 who quests for 1, but he is a bodyguard, so he's quite a big-bodied bodyguard at 2 cost. Again, haven't seen so much of him. Don't expect to. Did early on, but no, he seems to have disappeared again now, and for good reason. He's strong, but you've got the Prince if you can afford the Uninkables as well, who's also a 2-cost 0/5. And takes a little bit more to get rid of. Again, with that 4, you're still vulnerable to a Mim, taking it out quite quickly and quite easily, and taking no damage in the process. So this is the deck I've gone with for this at the moment. I've played with it a bit. I've taken cards out and put cards in. But there's some obvious things in here. I mean, obviously 4 each of the Rhino, 4 Docs, 4 Smees, 4 Lawrences, 4 Petes, 4 Rapunzels, 4 of each song. I've gone with 3 Daisy Ducks. You don't always want to be giving your opponent the cards, especially if you hand them a Madame Mim Fox, and that can give you all kinds of problems. But it's still a really good, hard to get rid of, quest for 2. It's a very good card. I've also gone with Baloo, 3 of at the moment. This is a recent addition to my deck. He's the bodyguard, of course. When he is banished, you gain 2 lore. So this has been a really nice way to close out games for me. It's not a deck I'm using all the time, but just in the interest of testing, I've put this deck together and played quite a bit with it. And it's a fairly successful deck. But the Baloo, I was finding a few times you get to sort of 17, 18 and run out of steam, like everyone knows happens with aggro. That Baloo can just close that game out for you a little bit. I've also gone with 3 Rapunzel's Tower. Now, of course, this is a 2-cost location. It costs you 1 to move a character there. It can take 8 damage, and it gives your characters that are there plus, they can take 3 more damage each. So that's incredibly good if you're facing someone who's having to challenge your characters. Not so good against removal. So if you've got brawls, big Sisus, little Sisus, things like that, this isn't going to help at all. But when you're against Amethyst and they're using Mim and they're using the Crab to remove your characters, this can just give you a little bit more survivability, make you live another turn, get a bit more lore out of that character before it dies. Also, it's helped in terms of having targets to heal with Rapunzel. Obviously, if your Smee can take up to 5 damage before he dies, then there's a good chance you're going to get that heal off and draw some cards. So it's another useful addition to the deck. It's one I did take out for a little while and then put back in. I ummed and ahed over it a little bit, and I think it's a strong card. But the Baloo, a lot of people play the Pluto still, which I think is a strong card, but it only takes a sort of 1-cost character to run into it, and then it's vulnerable. Whereas the Baloo, you're still getting something from that. Of course, you don't even need to run into the Pluto if you Storm Rage on, any damage to it, and then all of a sudden it's doing nothing. But Baloo, on the other hand, has won me games. And in fact, a situation that myself and my girlfriend were playing a game online just the other week, just last week, and it was a mirror match, and I was teaching her how to play the deck. And we got into this situation where it looks like we can only get to 19 here. with the questers on board, with what we got in hand, we can't stop the opponent who's on 18 from winning the game. And then I realised, of course, being on 6 ink, you can play that second blue, hardcast Strength of a Raging Fire on it. That gets you 2 lore. Suicide this blue for another 2 lore, and then you've still got 6 out there to quest. So I mean that's 10 lore, and that's the game. That was really good to notice that was the case. Without that, having that second blue and this Strength of Raging Fire and just the right amount of ink to play it, could have had one less because of the lady that was sitting there. But we've got no choice but to quest for 3, 4, 5, 6, and Suicide Blue for 8. Not enough to win the game, and very disappointing. The opponent, of course, playing Pluto, as I said, and didn't quite have that same ability at this point. I think we had a reduced strength on Pete as well, so it would have taken sort of 2 characters to take out this Pluto. The Strength for a Raging Fire would help. And then we've still got no way of taking out this Rhino, the Piglet, the 2 upright characters. So it was win there or nothing at all. And yeah, having that little ability there was really good. So yeah, Blue I think I prefer in this matchup, in this deck type, but Pluto has its place as well. Whichever one you decide to go with, I think they're both really good cards if this is what you play. And that's it really. I think this is a deck we've seen so far a hell of a lot of, and I think it's being found out somewhat now. So I think we're finding that Ruby Sapphire is really found a way around it, even though it's an aggro deck. I obviously playing a lot of Amethyst Sapphire Blurple, and I had a very good record against it. You know, any variation of the deck, and I'm now playing a bit of Ruby Amethyst, which still does struggle against it somewhat, even though if you go for the rush package, you still have a little bit of a problem with that Amber Steel. But it's a deck that if you find the curve correctly, if you get the songs in hand at the right times, you get your Peats out at the right times, it's really hard to beat, really hard to stop. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do from now on as well, I've got a couple more of these reviews to go on and these look ahead videos, but also I've been speaking to a lot of sort of newer players recently at some of the locals I've been going to, and they're really saying there's nothing out there that really addresses what to do if you're a new player. And I think that's really good point. And I'm going to make some videos coming up just specifically for those new players or people interested in getting started, just to go through the basic rules, start off with, and then into a little bit on deck building and things like that. So I think, yeah, look forward to those if that's you. If not, keep looking out for these videos. And also, don't forget, I am streaming the Axion Lorcana Fest, which is happening at Milton Keynes this coming weekend, the 21st and 22nd, I think that is, or 22nd and 23rd, hang on, 19, 20, 21, 21st and 22nd, at the Leonardo Hotel in Milton Keynes. So, yeah, I mean, I've been trying to stream our locals at Milton Keynes for a little while now, and had a few technical issues, shall we say, with the free Wi-Fi there, so that won't be a problem from now on. I'm going on the staff Wi-Fi there to really ease that up. But yeah, that shouldn't be a problem for the Axion event, so I will stream that from start to finish. You'll get to see what I'm playing and how I'm playing, which might not necessarily be good, but at least it'll be interesting to watch. Thank you very much, and good night.